Yo, so guys, thanks here. So this is gonna be kind of like a part 2 video of the latest one. I did replace the GPU as I said with the one that came with the pre-built. I've also pre-installed Windows. So right now we have all the boot. And again, I reset the BIOS, so I didn't apply the overclock and the other stuff that I tweaked off camera from the last video. So we have only virtualization again disabled and HMP is enabled, so the RAM can run in 3200. Everything else is default. Now, I did record the process of the Windows install options that I picked. I'm gonna mute the audio as it's just white noise, and I'll show you the steps. So I picked USA and USA keyboard layout. I skipped the second keyboard asking. Then I'm just gonna click this so I can skip a little bit faster. Okay, so here I picked personal use. Here I selected offline account, limited experience, just a random name, whatever you want. Then for the password, you can just leave it empty. So next. Okay, here you click not now. Make sure for privacy settings you untick everything and then click accept. There we go. Here you can skip. Not now. And then it's just gonna do the whole basic Windows installation and waiting. So now as you can see, it says searching for display driver. So it's gonna install the generic NVIDIA driver. Okay, that's my dog that's walking right now, by the way. Okay, so it installed the driver. And as you can see, in performance, it's the same board, 145. And we have 148, because we are running some stuff as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the installation video. So after this point of this video, I removed the driver that just got installed. So pretty much I used Dodo, display driver installer. I removed the driver that Windows installed. And then from there, we're gonna continue now. So you're gonna have this pack. It's similar to the last one. I just decided to spend a little bit more time and make it more in-depth and added some other stuff as well, so it's more detailed. So let's go through it. First part, NVIDIA driver. So as I said, first do the display driver part. If you're not familiar with how to remove your driver, there's a video tutorial on my Discord group. So just follow it and it will remove the driver. Also, this whole video is mainly based for NVIDIA GPUs. So if you have an AMD, there's also modded drivers for AMD that are debolted. I sadly do not have an AMD card right now, so I cannot show you the tutorial, but it's pretty similar. Like use DDU to remove the driver and then install the bolted driver, or like a modded driver, I should say. There's tutorials around internet and YouTube, so you can probably look around, but this video will be mainly for NVIDIA. So I changed the driver that was in the previous pack from the vanilla one that you had to debolt yourself, and I instead provided a full debolted one. So as soon as you remove your old driver or the one that you're using right now, just double click this and it will install the debolted one with all the settings that you need to do. Also, in case you want to debolt it yourself, there's pictures in my Discord as well. There's a channel that shows you all the steps on how to debolt this driver. But for the sake of the video, I will show you how I do it, even though it's on the Discord group. So in the last video, we did use driver files on disk and we selected the vanilla one, but I'm going to do the latest version just for the video. So next, now it's gonna ask you what you want to select, like components. So display driver is required. Then from here you can select anything you want or need. Some people probably like shadow play to use for clips or streaming. Just tick it, then go next. Personally, I don't use any other software here, so I keep only the driver. Also, if you shadow play, OBS offers the same feature for clipping. It can also record and stream. And some people will say that OBS might be more demanding than shadow play. It's actually not true. You can set up OBS to be super light, even the same performance as shadow play or even lighter. So I would recommend you looking through OBS replay buffer and settings for OBS itself, so you can get it to the lowest possible usage of like PC resources, while you can still do everything. But if you need shadow play, just do shadow play. It's okay, it's fine, it's personal choice. But for the sake of the video, I'll just do the display driver. Then next. This process is gonna take a little bit longer depending on your internet speed and your disk speed. So just gonna wait it out. So in the meantime, I'm gonna show you what we're working with. So we have the same CPU from the last video, as I said, from the pre-build. The GPU is replaced. As I said, the 2080 was from a friend. So I removed it. And we're back with the one that came with the PC. So over here, you wanna do disable installer, unintended express, perform a clean install, disable multiplane, disable uncell, show expert, disable driver telemetry, enable mesh signal interrupts, disable HDCP, then go down, then use method compatible with easy anti-cheat, and then automatically accept the driver unassigned warning, then next, and then just wait it out. Now for the GPU, this one is also running a little bit hot. It is a mini version, so it's 1060 mini ITX. Not shopping, my bad. Image. So this is pretty much the GPU right now that came with the pre-build. I have not fully cleaned the fan, like there's still a little bit of dust, and I also did not change the thermal paste or the pads, so it's running a little bit hot now, but it's fine for now. Then once this is done, from here you just click install and you pretty much have already debuted your whole driver. Just install it normally. I just did build package, and that's how you got the debuted version. So I already have the driver installed. I'm not going to show you this process, so I'm just going to close that, and also task manager. Now once you install the driver, you want to go to this and then double click that, click yes, okay, then refresh, then go back. Now from here you want to go to your NVIDIA panel. Okay, adjust image settings with preview. It's gonna be like let 3D application decide. Just do it, use my preference. Then it's gonna be on quality, put it on performance, apply. Then switch it to 3D. Now configure surround physics. Make sure it's on your GPU, apply. Change resolution, make sure it's the max possible resolution your monitor supports, in my case 1080p, and make sure refresh rate is also at the max, so in my case 240, apply. Yes, your monitor might blink and then it will be back to normal. Now again, for these settings, as I explained in the last video, this will make your colors a little bit better. So if you want to do that, just NVIDIA, then output dynamic range on full. As I mentioned in the previous video, I feel like default is better. I tend to get better latency and more FPS. It might be a placebo effect on my end, but from my own tests on different PCs and from some other people that I helped with, this seems to be better. So for the sake of the video, I'll just keep it default as I mentioned. Now adjust desktop color settings. Some people use digital vibrance or custom color settings. I change them mainly from my PC, like not my PC, my monitor. I do not use any digital vibrance or color settings here. So I will do override to reference mode and then apply. Your monitor again is going to blink. Then from here, go on adjust desktop size and position. By default, it's gonna be on aspect. If you play on native res, by native I mean like full HD or whatever your monitor resolution is, and you don't use stretch res, make sure it's on no scaling, and perform scaling is on display. In my case, my monitor does not support display scaling, and I want to play on stretch, so I'm gonna put it on full screen, and whatever I have, which in this case is GPU, apply. Then we have G-Sync. You want to uncheck that, it's gonna be like that. Just uncheck. Same goes for FreeSync. I've explained this in the last video. So let's say you have a 240 Hz, just like me right now, and you're playing a game, for example Fortnite, but you cannot reach 240 stable. This option will make the game run a bit more smoother, and you're not gonna have no screen tearing, but you're sacrificing latency. So if you play single players, let's say Cyberpunk maxed out, of course you're not gonna be able to reach 240 refresh rate. So G-Sync will make the game super smooth, like buttery smooth. So it's really good option for single players or in general non-competitive games. If you're a casual player and just want the game to feel nice, you can use G-Sync. But if you want to play competitively or have an advantage, you want G-Sync or FreeSync disabled, as it will cause extra latency. So again, uncheck, apply, monitor is gonna flash, click yes. Then go on adjust video card settings. Same as the one over here in change resolution. The one default is way better in my opinion, but if you decide to use this setting, just NVIDIA advanced and then make sure the color range is on full. But again, as I said, I feel like you get better latency and a little bit more FPS on default. Might be applicable again, but I don't know. Anyways, adjust video image settings. It's gonna be like this. Just do NVIDIA settings, then uncheck this and make sure everything is on 0 here. If you use a newer driver or a different version of the driver, you're gonna have RTX tab over here as well, similar to this one. Just make sure it's unchecked like this and then apply. Then go on desktop, enable developer settings. Some people will recommend you to do performance counters on all users. This will maybe increase your FPS or in some cases give you better latency. But for Fortnite, from personal tests, this makes you stutter or sometimes crash. So I do not recommend you using this for Fortnite. However, feel free to try allow access and then you can switch to restrict. Just make sure you're doing this when the game is not open. Otherwise, it's gonna make you crash. So since we're using restrict and we're not touching this, I'm just gonna hide again the developer settings. Then you're pretty much done with the basic NVIDIA settings. You can close out. Go on your folder again. Go on extras. You're gonna have a bunch of BAT files here and one reg edit. So the reg edit, we can run that. Then over here, you have unrestricted clock policy and force PO state. Both of these are required to be able to use force PO state like normally, but like have to be enabled. So what these two BAT files do is make your GPU run at max performance. So let's say your GPU comes out of the factory at 2000 megahertz whenever it's like fully being utilized. This will force the 2000 megahertz always, meaning that your GPU is gonna always be working on max performance. This is not an overclock, it just forces your GPU to run at maximum speeds, which again leads to higher temperatures if you have a bad GPU. So in this case, we have a 1060, 3GB mini ITX, which is a one fan card. I did not dust the fans or change the thermal yet on this GPU, so the temps are quite high. But yeah, if you have problems with heat issues on your GPU, just ignore these two options. You can do the no AC, delete NVIDIA permanently, and HGCP. I'm not gonna run any of these BAT files right now because the video might get corrupted. I just got like a few minutes ago, so I'm gonna not do them, but pretty much select all of them, right click, run as admin, then disable wing, double click yes. Then from there, you go on NVIDIA Profile Inspector, hold the private nip, and then just drag it in NVIDIA Profile Inspector. It's gonna say that, just okay. Then double click that and open as admin. There we go. Let me just make sure recording is running. Yes. All right. So the NIP file already changed pretty much every setting for you to the best option. However, I included a TXT file with some extra settings that you might be interested in. So maximum pre-rendered frames, which is this thingy. So 1 is the best value for latency and in general for decent PCs. Increasing this over 1, so let's say 2, 3, 4, etc. Increasing it will make your FPS higher, but latency will get worse. So by default, 1 is the best value for you. But if you're like on a super weak PC, for example, the one that we are right now with the i7 6th gen, if I want to squish more FPS than normal, I will increase this value to like, let's say 2 or 3. I would not recommend going over 2 or 3, maybe 4 max, as it will get worse. So if you're like on a super bad PC, just go like 2 or 3. For the sake of the video, I'll keep it 1. Then you have ultra low latency CPL state, which is pretty much the low latency mode from NVIDIA panel over here. So by default, it's on the profile that we just imported. If you have really bad CPU, you want to put this on off. As I said over here, can lower latency if set on or ultra, however it reduces FPS on weak CPUs since it puts more stress on them. And then I've also added this, which is in-game NVIDIA Reflex works better. So if you have the option NVIDIA Reflex in-game, for example on Fortnite, it's enabled for DX11 and DX12. It is better to use the in-game Reflex instead of the NVIDIA panel one. But in case you use ultra low latency, I guess you can stick to ultra or whatever some other people will say. I personally recommend on, but if you have really bad PC, just put it off. Ultra is also decent. It will definitely lower your latency, but you will have to have like pretty decent PC, or at least a decent CPU, so it does not stress that much. But for the sake of the video, I'll keep it default, which is on from the profile. Excuse me. Then we have prevent anti-strophic filtering. So scroll down until you find prevent over here. It's off by default on the profile. However, you can just enable, apply. Ansel and CUDA force P2 states are already disabled. So yeah, as you can see, off. Then you have R-bar. So R-bar, see if you can actually support R-bar. It's a feature for mainly for 40 series GPU and AMD. Go on help, go on system information. Then over here, you can see like how it says this driver version, driver type. It's gonna have a specific one where it says R-bar, and it's gonna be like enabled or supported on the right side. This GPU does not support R-bar. As I said, it's mainly for 40 series. So it's not supported, so it's disabled. However, if you have R-bar, this will increase your lows FPS and like 1% lows. Some games, whenever you have R-bar enabled from NVIDIA and BIOS, some games don't like the option enabled, and it does not count the option as enabled in them. So forcing it through NVIDIA Profile Inspector will fix that issue for the people that have R-bar. So the best settings for R-bar will be, as I mentioned over here, so future enabled. So future enabled. Then size limit, you copy that amount, go here, go size limit, paste that, change the option one as well, then apply. pretty much. Then from there, thread optimization. This is pretty much if you allow your CPU to be used like all the threads. So best option here will be after on, but since this video is mainly for Fortnite and games that do not really require that much this option, it's by default on off. Also, fun fact, Fortnite tends to get better performance with thread optimization on, even though some people recommend you putting it on or off too. Off seems to be better. In some cases, some CPUs don't really perform that well with off, so experiment between on, off to and off, but for my sake and for the profile default settings, I'll keep it on off and apply. Now, we have optional settings, which are from Melody. I included his Google link in case you're interested in seeing the other stuff that he provides. He has basic optimizations here, has Windows 7 tricks, some other stuff as well here. He also has a software for apparently low latency. It's pretty much disables and enables time resolution and enforces a power plan that he has optimized. We're not going to use anything of that. We're mainly more interested in the NVIDIA Inspector settings. So some people in the community, like recently at least, like the past month, have started to include these 4 settings for the buffers. They've been in the most NIP files that I provided you in the past, already like set to this amount. But for the sake of this video, I will go through this, as some people claim it increases the performance or like lowers the delay. So we're just gonna apply it real quick to Fortnite profile. Again, credits to Melody for the settings. So you can apply these values either to your global profile or just mainly for a game. In my case, I will do it for a game. I don't want it globally. So Fortnite, then select the Fortnite exe. Then over here, you want to click this to show unknown device. Then find OGL. So we're looking for OGL pool mem. I actually disabled them, my bad. There we go. I think I might be blind. Audio pool. There we go. I'm blind. Okay, copy the value. Paste. Now find default buffer size, which is under. Copy again. Paste. MS force costing buffer size. Copy. Find the value. Oops. Find the value again. There we go. Oh, I skipped it. Then copy the last one. Max pending CMD buffers. It should be somewhere where M is. Max pending CMD buffers. Then apply that value. Then apply. Now we're gonna do. We can close this text file. Okay, so now we're gonna do the potato graphics. So go on multi-sampling, transparency super sampling, AA mode, replay mode out. AOD bias, you put this to plus 3750. AOD bias plus 5000 or 4375. I will do it on 5000. Then negative AOD bias should be already on QAMP. Texture filtering is gonna be on high quality. Optimizations off. off. Prevent anti-struffling is on. Driver controlled BIOS on. Force P state and answer should be already disabled. Ray tracing is already disabled. Then if you go a little bit down, let me hide this so it's easier to find. Memory allocation policy. Make sure it's on the second one. Pre-allocate. Ansel should be already disabled. Then pretty much apply. And you're done with Profile Inspector. Now from here, you want to go in MSI utility. Right click, run as admin. So for this tool, you will most likely have something on, like, let's say, kind of like that, like a bunch of high stuff. So all we care here is the GPU. So as you can see, this GPU supports MSI, supported modes, and it has the MSI. So you want to just check MSI box, and then on interrupt mode priority, you want to set it on undefined. Now, some people will tell you to put this on high. You can experiment between that. I personally find undefined to be better. Lows and 1% lows. Same with average FPS. So I will keep it on undefined. If you have any other app here or like device that's on high priority, just make sure it's undefined. Also, do not check all the tick boxes with MSI. Just keep them like they are. Just NVIDIA one is what we need. And then priority undefined on everything. Then apply and then exit. Let me just double check again. Recording is working. Yes. Okay. Now from here, go back. GPU affinity. I'm not gonna be able to do this to show you this. Otherwise, the recording is gonna stop again. But pretty much what you wanna do is find your GPU. So in my case, there it is. Actually, I can do it without restarting. Okay, so find your GPU, set mask, then over here, you wanna select a CPU. So pretty much your CPU has cores, in this case 4 cores, Windows, and every application that you can think of or you're running in the background works on all CPUs, and mainly CPU 0 is stressed the most. So this application allows you to move your GPU to be used on a different core, which maybe has less background applications running on, which will give you better latency and more FPS. Now, I'm gonna do CPU 2, as I know it's good for this CPU. But for you to find the best CPU, you have to manually test. So I've also included a link to a program from Amit. Some people might know him in the community. He's into the tweaking community. So you go on releases and just download the latest tool, and the tool is gonna look like that. So it's gonna benchmark every single core that you have, and it's gonna automatically set your GPU to like every single core and does like 5 to 30 second test. Then once it finishes with all the core testing, it's gonna give you results in green. So green means it has the best values, and then yellowish to orange has the second best values. So for this, all we care about is the 0.5%, these ones, the lows, and the 0.1% lows. And then STDEF is like your latency. So average, mean, then 5% lows and 1% lows are what we're looking for. So just do the benchmark. Usually this benchmark takes about, I'll say 20 minutes per try. So whenever you do one full test of 20 minutes, just screenshot your results, right? Just snipping to like that, and then just get the thingy and then save it somewhere. then do another test, like do to be fully sure that that core is like the best, just do like 2 or 3 tests. So in general, like about an hour of testing. This will do everything for you. So whenever you run this test, just make sure everything is closed in the background. Don't move your mouse or keyboard and just let it do its thing. And then whenever it finish, just screenshot the results and then compare them with the other pictures that you've taken from the other tests. Then from that, you can decide which core is the best for you. As I said, in this case, for me, it will be 2. So I'm going to keep it on 2. Then okay. Okay. And it's going to say that it's not going to take effect unless I restart the GPU. So I cannot do the restart as I'm recording with the NVIDIA encoder and it's going to corrupt the recording. But it's applied. All I have to do is restart the PC. Or if I didn't check this, it will automatically ask you to restart. So I'm done with that pretty much. Now, another thing you can change here, similar to the GPU, to remove like a little bit of the work from the CPU, is find your USB HCI compliant host controllers, and you can again set mask and move them to different cores. So you might have like few of these controllers. Just select all of them and you can give them different CPUs. Just make sure they don't match the CPU. So let's say the one that I just showed you, I put it on CPU 1, the second one I put on CPU 4, and then so on. So let's say I put this, right, it's on CPU 1, then I click OK, then I find the other ones. Let me see if I can find the other ones. I'm blind again, I think. Let me just USB. Okay, so let's say this one is another one. As you can see, it has 20 devices. So set mask. We put the other one on CPU 3, I think. So we're gonna put this on CPU 7 and so on. Just make sure they're on different CPUs. Then done and restart your PC or the device. Now, you're not required to do these steps. Obviously, you can skip the GPU affinity. There's also tutorials on how to use the affinity better. So feel free to use that. But yes, so from here, MSI Afterburner. I provided you a link for the node. So the node is gonna wait this out, then open file. Okay, it should open. Little bit late or no? Okay, it didn't. Could not be created. That's fine. There we go. Next, accept. Again, this is optional. You're not required to do the MSI part. Now, if you don't care about RSS, which is used to capture, to limit your FPS, and it also can help with latency, but that depends from PC to PC. For the sake of the video, I will show you how to do the RSS, but in case you're just interested in the fan curve for MSI Afterburner, so you get better temps on your GPU, just uncheck Revo and keep MSI only. But again, I'm going to show you RSS, so I will do Rival Tuner as well. There install. I've provided pictures for every step, so you don't get confused. Now we're just gonna wait for MSI. There we go. Now it's gonna install. There you go. So wait it out. In the meantime, I'm just gonna slowly disable some stuff. Toolbars disabled. Turn off. Manage notifications. Uncheck everything. Okay, that's done. And that's done. So it's gonna look like that. We don't care about anything over here. We're not going to overclock. So go on your setting. Then go on fun. Make sure enable user defines is ticked. Then you're gonna have this. Now go back to the folder. You have a picture. So just match the picture. So the first one is on 50 and 20. So 50, 20. Then second one is on 50, 100. Then the other one is on 60, 100. Then third one is on 70. And then the last one is on 90, 100, which is default. Then 5000 value, which is default. Then force font fee speed should be enabled. Now pay attention to the degrees. Apply. Okay. And as you can see, the temp should start going down super fast. So with this fan curve, you might drop 10 to 20 degrees down, depending on how many fans your GPU has. It's really good fan curve for gaming. Now, once you do that, all you want to do is click the Windows icon, so it runs with Windows, and do not open MS Afterburner after that. Like, my bad. If you don't use RSS, just do not run MS Afterburner. So, Windows icon, then whenever you restart PC and every time you boot your PC, MSI will be already enabled, but it will not show over here in the icons. So you're fine here if you don't do the RSS. However, if you're interested in the RSS as well, go settings, go monitoring. I'm gonna enable some stuff here. So I'm gonna do frame rate so I can see my FPS. Then show on screen display. I'm gonna uncheck everything else that it's not enabled, but I like to uncheck them. Okay. There we go. So frame rate, show on screen display, apply. Okay. And now we're gonna have Revo Tuner. I don't want to do the update, so I'm gonna go click no. Then double click Revo. Now, as I said, this will be used to limit your FPS and get a bit lower latency, but it varies from PC to PC. So first step will be just to match the settings. So off, on, low, on. So you need to add your Fortnite or whatever game you're playing, the exe file. So add, then find your exe. In my case, it's in program files, Epic Games, Fortnite game binaries, Win64, and then select Win64 shipping. Then enable that as well. Then put the refresh rate of your monitor, in my case to 40. Make sure it's on, render, view mode, off, on screen view, this, everything matches. Then go on setup. Then from here, go on second picture. So 1500. Then go a little bit down. You see this part under compatibility. Make sure this is unticked. Enable 64-bit, untick passive waiting. Then 15,000 on the bottom. Then okay. And you're pretty much done with that. Now we're gonna minimize that and minimize that as well. As you can see, from 50 something degrees to 28 on idle. And the fans are like starting to run at 100, depending on the temps. It was 100 in my end. And then slowly the fan decreases and it becomes less louder. But the temps, as you can see, are like huge decrease. So minimize. Then for RSF info, I have also a little bit info for it so you can understand it. So Fortnite must have frame rate set to unlimited for this to work properly. So pretty much what we're doing is, instead of using the in-game frame limit, we're gonna use unlimited FPS and use the RSS2 to cap to the refresh rate, so 240. So as you know, increasing your FPS will lower the latency. So going from 60 FPS to 120 FPS will lower your latency. So in this case, we are getting the benefit of unlimited FPS, like the latency benefit, but we are locking the FPS to 240, so the GPU does not stress any extra amount. Then, if you use G-Sync or FreeSync, as I mentioned, we disable that, but in case you do use it for smoothing, just make sure to cap your FPS 3 below. So RSS, instead of 240, you do 237, and that's minus 3 FPS. If you're like 165, just do 162, pretty much. And this will give you better latency. But again, it varies from user to user, as I said, for RSS. In my case, I'm going to just include it because some people might be interested in that. Then from there, what we're missing, we're done everything here. I've also provided you an NVIDIA panel. So in case you cannot open the panel for some reason, just double click this and we open you the panel. There you go. Change resolution, this will be used for stretch res. We're gonna use that later. Now we're gonna start with debugging a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, like that. Hide graphs. So we have 143 processes. So first we're gonna do the Chris 2. I've included his YouTube channel, so if you want to check him out, this is his YouTube. He has a bunch of like optimizations, like talking about stuff. So if you're interested, you can go through that, but we're just mainly interested in the two. So Windows plus R, PowerShell. Then go in Command, copy that. Then right click your mouse or Control V, then enter. Also for this part, make sure you have your task manager open just in case, because the Explorer might shut down, similar to the last video that I did. It happens sometimes with this program. So just wait it out. It's gonna open a menu after that for you. It's almost done. There we go. If you wanna install something from here, feel free to do that. I'm mainly interested in the tweaks tab. So here you have option for desktop, laptop, minimal, clear. We want whatever you're using, in my case desktop. It's gonna check a bunch of stuff, but we're gonna uncheck filter. So delete temporary files, disable Teredo, set display to performance, disable USC, disable notification, remove OneDrive, disable IPv6, and set classic right click menu. Then from the right side, dark theme enable, Bing search in start menu, disable, snap assist, disable, mouse acceleration, disable, sticky keys, disable. We do not care about the power pawn. Then just run tweaks. It's gonna start removing them. So give it a few minutes. It should restart the Explorer. If it does not, we're gonna do it manually. We got an error message again, which is fine. So as you can see, tweaks are finished. Just exit. Then if you have the Explorer bug, just file and type Explorer, and we're back. So the process count didn't get lowered because we need to restart the PC for them to apply. But before we do that, we're gonna go further. So we're gonna go back up again, the pack, the waters. Now we have package installer. So we're gonna copy that path. Excuse me. So this program is again by Amit. Really good program. So go on releases. Just click the exe. It might say it's a virus because it's a exe file. Just click the three dots, keep, show more, and keep anyway. Then close. I've also included Amit's Twitter if you're interested in some tests or further projects that he provides. Anyways, now we have the package. Before we run that, I'm going to set Windows Defender security to off. So go to that, manage settings. Quad delivery protection is disabled, real-time protection is disabled, and tamper protection is disabled. And then Hicks. And again, as I mentioned in the previous video, if you hear this sound, that's my mouse scroll wheel. It's kinda broken, or like it needs a replacement. So just ignore that sound if you hear it. Now we're gonna delete the MSI one since we already installed it. So run this as admin. More info, run anyway. Okay, just wait it out. And it's going to open all of this. So from here, you want to delete anything you don't want. So I'll remove the Spotify one. Get help. Microsoft Solitaire collection. Sticky notes. OneNote. MS Paint. Microsoft Edge. Cortana. Camera and photos. We're gonna reuse this program again once I do the restart, because right now some of these are already removed, but I just need to restart for them to show. Before you click Uninstall, since I selected where is it? Microsoft Edge, it's gonna remove the browser. I'm just gonna install the one that I've downloaded, in my case Chrome, real quick, otherwise I'm not gonna have a browser. I'm also going to show you how to optimize your Chrome for better performance. Alright, now Chrome is done. Click do not sign for now. Set as default. There you go. Switch anyways. Now for this pop-up, click on settings, then maximize. Add topics, make sure it's disabled. Site suggested ads, disable. Add measurement, disable. Then extensions, remove any extensions. Then go on system, use hardware, disable. Continue running in background, disable. Accessibility, swipe, disable. Language, remove the English United States. Then Google Translate, disable. On startup, I like to put it to Google. Default browser is already default. Now search engine Google, main search engine. Delete all of the ones over here. Then disable these ones. Appearance, I like dark. Images cover tab, don't like that. Performance, uncheck both options. Have to fill, address and more, disable. Payment methods, disable both. You and Google, customize, no, sync Google service. Improve search suggestion, disable. Help improve Chrome's features and performance, make sure it's disabled. Then you're pretty much done with that. Now we're gonna install extensions. So you want ublock origin. There you go, add to Chrome, add extension. Then from here I also like clean URLs. Add to Chrome. There you go. I'm gonna pin ublock then manage extension. Go on UBOC origin, details. Allow in incognito as well. Go back. Now click on your UBOC, go on settings. Disable tooltips, theme dark, disable cosmetic filtering, BOC CCSP reports, then filter list, ignore generic cosmetic filters, ticked, then annoyance, AdGuard, easy list, fanboy, and UBOC filters, then apply. And you're pretty much done with everything in this browser. Now, whenever you open browser, it's gonna be normal. I'm gonna pin the browser and delete that. Same with MSI. I'll delete voice meter as well. OBS, it's already running, but I'll keep it for the sake of the video. Also, if you hear any noise, it's my dog. We don't care about the browser anymore. Now we can click Uninstall. There we go. Unpin. Gonna put the browser like that. Microsoft Store, I don't really use it, so I'm gonna unpin. Mail, unpin. Then taskbar settings. Turn system icons on or off. I'm gonna remove location, input indicator, and microphone, so it looks a little bit more clean. Then personalize, make it solid color. Colors, pick any color. Transparency effect, make sure it's off. Automatic pick accent color, disabled. Both of these disabled. Walk screen, make sure it's disabled. And we're done with that. Now we're gonna go again back to the thingy. I'm gonna do a wallpaper actually, because why not? So I'm just gonna get random wallpaper, like let's say this one. Okay. All right. So as I said, we're gonna use this later. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to do disable Windows Defender fully. So Defender remover, run anyway. Gonna press Y. Now, after you confirm, it's gonna restart your PC. So I'm going to, and before I do that, I'm gonna show you how to get that. So Windows Defender disabler. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, had a phone call. So you find this, then you can use that. I'm not sure which one I download, but actually it might be. No, never mind. Just find this one works fine. This one works fine. Then just disable it. I'm gonna stop the recording and I'll just merge the recordings once the restart is done, and I'll continue recording from there, just so I can apply this and the other stuff that we did. So see you in like 2 seconds. Alright, we're back after the restart. So now we're down to 78. Okay. We're gonna go to the notes, review installer. My bad. Just try it somewhere. Run. Okay. Now with this tool, you can remove any extra stuff that's remaining. In my case, everything is already removed. Let me see if something can be removed from here. Mail calendar. Don't need that. Don't need restore points. Okay. Scan just to make sure everything is going from it. There you go. I'm gonna keep Xbox and store running. Let me refresh. Okay, everything is fine. We can remove that up. I'm also going to move this over here. Chrome, I can remove that since we already did that. Let's do Discord real quick. Excuse me. Okay, let me just double check recordings. Okay, it's working. Alright, so I'm gonna log in real quick with my phone. I'm gonna scan the code. So give me a sec. I'm gonna hide the screen for like a split second so I can scan it and don't leak anything. So just legit give me 2 seconds. Also, that's my dog in the background that you can hear. Okay, we're in. There we go. Let me just close the phone up. There we go. So, go in user settings. Go to overlay. Disable. Smile. Never. Only while speaking. Hicks. Register game should be none. Activity parameters we're not touching. Advanced. You want hardware acceleration disabled. Let it restart. I'm also gonna pin Discord. Alright. Streamer mode. I'm gonna disable. Windows settings. Disable. Open boot. Notifications. You can disable if you want. Voice and video. Just do your normal settings. Disable everything. Then restart again. Alright. Clips, make sure it's disabled. Appearance should be normal. Accessibility. Make sure sync with computer and enabled reduce motion is enabled. Then stickers, never animate. And we're pretty much good to go with that. Now we can further debug it. So I'm gonna close Discord and go to my YouTube. If you go on my videos, the latency one. Yo, what's up guys? Since so that's what we care about. So app data, roaming, my bad, vocal, Discord, app. So for vocals, you want Control A, then just keep US, delete the rest, go modules, then from the video just Control A and just uncheck the ones that I have left. So voice, utils, modules, media. Where is it? Media, desktop core, and then delete the rest. And we're done with that. And now you can open Discord normally. And you're pretty much done. If there's Discord update, you have to redo the whole process again. But as you can see, memory usage to 63, and I'm gonna disable streaming mode again. Okay, now we're done with that. Okay, go to this PC. We're gonna do the launcher. Go in settings. So just uncheck everything. Enable throttle nodes only and make sure it's on 0. Then uncheck. Now for additional command lines, you can use you can use this. They do not work anymore, but some people still claim it does. You can do that if you want. I'm gonna copy that, but I'm gonna remove one of them. So I'm gonna remove the no texture streaming, and everything else is fine. Now we're gonna go library. Now by default, you're gonna have it like that with a bunch of games. This will slow down your loading speeds of the launcher. So just click only installed. Then I'm gonna open Fortnite, so it generates a config for me, so we can go and edit it. Let me just double check recording. It's working. Okay. I'm gonna have to merge all the videos together. Okay, I'm just gonna let this load. Okay. So again, we're not gonna play any games right now. We're just mainly opening Fortnite to generate the config. Then we're closing it and we're proceeding with the other steps. Okay, should ask you for settings now. Just click decline. Okay, just go settings. So just for the sake of the video, and it does not have any black screens or anything, I'll keep it on windowed. Usually you wanna go full screen. Frame rate limit, as I said, unlimited because of RSS. If you're not going to use RSS, just cap it to your refresh rate. Then go down. Quality preset, make sure it's low. TSR epic, just click that off and then do 100. Or in my case, I like 95, as it looks really close to 100, but you're still getting the performance boost. Then everything else off and show FPS on. Audio quality, you can put that on low, but do keep in mind that the quality of the audio itself will get worse, but it will be lower latency. I personally prefer the high for now, so keep it high. Then on third tab, although on the bottom, energy savings, disable them. And if you have replays, disable all the replays. Apply. Then at the end, If you have symbols in your name, make sure to hide your display name. And if you want a little bit more boost, like we're talking about 1 to 2 FPS, you can hide also the other players' names. So some people use symbols or invisible characters in their names, and every time they kill someone or thank the bus driver or something like that shows up in the chat on the left while you're playing a match, it actually renders the symbol, so you're losing performance. So you can do that to on and then apply as well. And then we're pretty much done with the settings. Now we're just gonna put performance, apply, and then click decline, then Alt F4. Then I've included the path file to the game user. So appdata, vocal, appdata, vocal, Fortnite game saved, config, Windows client, then edit. Then let me just close this path. Okay. So now we have a bunch of stuff here. I will keep OneScape on 2. And I'm going to do my resolution. So 1650. As I said, we're gonna play on stretch. Otherwise, you can keep it on full screen, which is 1080p, 1920 by 1080. Right. Everything else is fine. We're missing the top part. Show grass, files, show FPS true, motion blur is off. 0 files, DLSS quality 0, 0 recommended. I personally recommend putting performance. Display gamma, make sure it's on 2.2. Then another option we're missing, but I do not see right now, should be somewhere. Disable mouse. There we go. Make sure that's on true. Then save. And we can exit. You can also put this to read only if you want to not change your settings, like the game to not change the settings. But I'm gonna keep it unchecked for now. Then we have process WASU. Just gonna install it. Gonna uncheck this too. Okay. Run process WASU. Then go to import this PC. Go to the folder. Config. Then import. Okay. Then just Hicks. Then CPU related. Run as admin. Wait that. Okay. Make sure it's high performance. Then unpark 100 and unpark out. Then apply. Okay. And then exit. You can also check your temps to make sure your CPU is running code. My case 30 degrees and max 34, so we're good here. Then you have regex. I'm gonna disable the one charge for now and Discord. Okay. So disk tweaks. If you have hard disk, just do the hard disk. If you have SSD, do the SSD. I have SSD. So CMD. Then just copy each one. And then exit. Okay, memory compression. Run as admin, and you're done. Now device cleaner. Run as admin. Device select all. Remove selected. Go back. OBS related. So if you're using OBS and you install it and open it, there's gonna be a tab like Studio Mode that says virtual camera. This will delete the virtual camera and it will lower the RAM usage of OBS. If you use virtual camera, don't do that, but I think it's pretty useless feature, so yeah. Then from there, if you use those OBS, you can make it run as admin. It will make it more stable and resource less eating. So to do that, find your OBS, properties, open file location, find the main location of OBS, then just click the exe file, compatibility, then run program as admin OS, apply, okay, and close, and restart your OBS. Then from there, network and DNS. So you have DNS packer, DNS jumper, I mean. Go to fastest, go to the bottom, make sure everything is checked, then start DNS. It's gonna find the best for you. There we go. In this case, it's the Google. Just apply, then exit. Then go to QoS packets, CMD. So we need to go to this path, regget it. So make sure start is 1. If it's not on 1 by default, make this to 1, then restart your PC and come back to this part of the video. My bad, I have to open. Okay, then we're gonna do PowerShell. Then just space that. Then exit. Then we're gonna go GPR it. Like that. Okay, so from here, you wanna expand it a little bit. Go administrative, templates, network, QoS packet scheduler, limit reservable bandwidth, double click, enable, make sure it's on 0, apply, okay. Then minimize that, administrative template, my bad. Okay, so Windows settings, then policy based QoS, right click, create new policy. I'm just gonna call it Fortnite. 46 value. Next. Only application with this executable name. So now we're gonna go to where your Fortnite is. So in my case, C drive. Fortnite game binaries Win64. Then rename and then copy the exe name. And then add exe at the end, .exe. Then next. It's gonna be like that. Then next, make sure it's TCP and UDP. Finish. And then you have Fortnite set to max priority for the internet. Now, in case you want to remove that, just click policy based QoS, right click, delete policy. You can do this for every game you play. You can do it for Valorant, for Call of Duty or any game mode that you play. But we're just doing it for Fortnite mainly. Then go back. You can also do a buffer bow test to test your latency to the internet. Now I'm using the onboard graphic card, like the motherboard one. So I don't expect this to be super decent. The only benefit that I have right now is that I have 1 GB internet plugged in. But again, this PC is super old, so the network card is pretty old. So I do not expect like super good results over here. If you want to get super low super low latency for the internet and ping decrease, you can buy an external network card. There's plenty of them videos on YouTube showing you the cards. They actually help a lot. I have one on my main PC, and it helps you get like pretty good FPS. I mean, not FPS, ping, but also FPS can be decent since it's removing the work from your motherboard, like your main network card. So we're gonna wait now for the upload. So over here, pretty much you want your MS to be super low, and depending on that, this is how much your ping is gonna be, like how stable it's gonna be, if you're gonna have any packet walls and stuff like that. So if this amount is high, they recommend you upgrading your router or your provider. So in my case, I'm getting a C grade. On my main PC, it's a A+. But as I said, this is an onboard card and it's like super old PC, so I didn't expect too high of results. But yeah, that also matters a lot for competitive play. Then we have time resolution. I'm gonna show you how to do time resolution as well for some people that do use it. Okay, let me go downloads. ICO. Okay, so you're gonna have this, and then you're gonna have measure sleep. So before I run this, I'm going to show you this. So right now my latency or my latency timer for sleep is about 15 to 16 ms. As you can see, max 15 ms, average 14, and mean 13. So you need to lower this amount to get better input. Again, you're not required to use time resolution if you don't like it, but for the sake of the video, I'll just show you what you can do to lower that amount as well for better latency. So I'm not gonna show you the size over here. You can watch another video, but I'm just gonna show you the basic settings. ICO pooling rate 1000, the 2 checkboxes enabled. I'm on Windows 10, so I don't need global timer resolution request. I just need the enable custom resolution. Then over here, you wanna set it to 0 and then 5. Then when you start, it's gonna be the lowest possible. Then if I measure sleep again, you can see 5 and now it's 15. Now, if it does not say 0.5 accurately, that means you need to do the commands for it to be fixed. But in generally, to get better, just increase it by 1 decimal until you find the perfect value. So right now it's a little bit bugged. I'm gonna do the fix real quick. So timer resolution fix CMD. Resolution 0.5 fix. Let's just do the sloppy one. Is he gonna show the commands real quick? There we go. So CMD, BC edit, set use platform, tick yes. My bad. Then BC edit, set disable dynamic, tick yes. Command line doesn't apply there. But that it set disable dynamic tick yes. But that it about. Okay, I'm just gonna do like that. Delete value use platform clock. So you might get error for this one, which is fine. So then from here you can close, and now you're gonna need to restart. So I'm gonna restart again and be right back. Let me just, okay, we're back. So as you can see, now ICO is working properly. So whenever I open ICO, it's gonna be the real value. There you go. So we stop, and if I put 50 start, you can see it's 0.5. So what we care about here is this amount to be lowered, and to lower this amount, you have to go with this value up until you find the value that's the best for you. So yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something enabled for ICO. That's why it's showing 15 instead of like the 0 first. But other than that, we're fine here. Again, this is optional, so you're not forced to use time arrest, but if you do end up using it, that's how you measure the sleep and the tests. Then from there we have services. Edit, it just disables a bunch of useless service. Run as admin, and it's done. In case you want to revert, so just open the bat file, edit. Let's say I want to revert AJ router. Where is the center service name? Just replace it. Type AJ router, then copy, go back to bat file, then just space it out, paste that, and whenever you run the script, it's gonna set the AJ router to after. Then from there you have ADW cleaner. Just do a basic scan. Okay, as you can see, it's clean. Just keep. Optionals, you have 7-zip. You can install 7-zip, then activate it. Have cage cleaner for path. This will automatically clean your cage on Windows Start. So just paste that, then copy paste. You're done with that. Then go back, go app data. Just delete anything that you can. If anything cannot be deleted, just skip. There we go. Then we have Wooner, which is gonna be in the Discord only. So join the Discord group. Then run as admin. Let me just make sure recording is still on. Yes. Then while this is loading, we're gonna go adjust sound settings. We did the sound settings, change mouse settings, pointer option, make sure enchanter point precision is off, and make sure this is on 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apply, okay. Then change visual settings, make sure it's on adjust for best performance. If you don't mind the Windows 7 look, you can keep it like that with everything unchecked. I personally like smooth edges of screen fonts and short-term noise instead of icons. Apply, okay. Then for keyboard, short, fast, none. Apply, okay. Then go back and you can close out of that. Now we're gonna wait this out. Might take a little bit. Because it's the first time that I'm doing a restore point on this PC. Sometimes the restore point glitches out whenever you do the booting. So it might be super slow. Sometimes it's fast. Whenever this finish and I rerun the application or restore point, it's gonna be like instant. But for now, I have to wait. So it should be done soon. Nine more %. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some device manager. So these ones are in yellow, meaning they're disabled or not found. So I'm just gonna disable them. Now, for bus controllers, you want to remove their power management. Like that. system devices, you can disable the high definition audio controllers, but if you lose audio, just re-enable them. For my case, I know that it's not gonna do any issue, so I'm disabling both of them. Then high precision timer, make sure that's disabled. And yes, virtual network adapter, make sure that's disabled. Then from here, everything else that I do is optional. So like any other devices over here, it's optional. So I'm gonna do the optional ones. I have a video, an older video, that you can see the list of the stuff that I'm about to disable. So you can like see which one I recommend from the video. But right now I'm just gonna disable the ones that I know I can. Okay, now this is saved, this is disable. You can disable that, fine. Same goes with these ones, don't need them. Save. Ports, if you don't have the thing is used, you can disable them as well. Other device, fine. Network, if you have anything under this device, which is the main network, you can disable them. Mice, you want to remove the power settings. Okay. Then everything else, it's fine. Now I can close that. Then go in your file explorer, properties, make sure you uncheck this, apply, okay, ignore, and just wait it out. So this process might take a little bit because it's going through all the files on your disk. And for some reason, the restore point right now is bugging out. I'm gonna rerun it. Hopefully it fixes that. But for you, make sure you wait it out if it's the same slow process as me, because you definitely need a restore point if you're using the utility. But I know it's safe, like most of the settings, since I've already done a video with it. So I know it's not gonna get any issues. So hopefully now it does not glitches out. It's going a little bit faster. So let's hope it's fine. This is still going in the background. Also, if you have any game open and it's in the same disk as this one, which is the main one, your games are gonna be having stutters right now until this process finish. Okay, 78, 79, 80. It's still, I think, glitching the restore point. Okay, it's definitely glitched again. So I'm going to just rerun the bat file. I'm going to hide the screen for a sec, just so I don't leak any of my private files. Give me a sec. One sec. Need to find where exactly I put the file. Okay, I found it. Okay. Let me see if this one works. If not, I'm actually gonna copy the bot. But on your end, this should not happen. It's just on my end. I think I glitched out the restore point. So hopefully it goes through now. This should be almost done. Okay, yeah, definitely. This one is glitched still. Okay, let me get the bot. Okay, we got the bot. There we go, finally. Okay, this is done as well. Okay, so now this is pretty much straightforward. Just press the numbers and just wait it out. We've done that. Again, this utility is optional. It just further tweaks some settings, and this utility is available on my Discord for free. So just wait it out. And again, make sure you have restore point. The utility usually makes a restore point on start, but in case it didn't, just double check you have a restore point before doing any of these tweaks so you can revert. Then for RAM, you can go to your task manager and then select the amount you have. In my case, 16. So I type 16. Then GPU. Type what GPU you have. In my case, NVIDIA. Then wait it out. It's gonna do the profile inspector as well, which we did already, but if you're lazy, this just do it for you as well. Then if you go to power option, make sure this is on never and never additional power settings. As you can see, we don't have any pawns now, so just do 7 and it should put you on the private power. Okay, then from there just 8. So this one might take a little bit as it's cleaning the cache. Might take like up to a minute or two, depending on how much you have. Just wait it out. And then after this is done, I'm gonna do WAS restart and we're gonna boot up the game. And before we boot the game, we actually have to put the stretch. So I'm gonna do that before we restart. And whenever I combine now the videos, I hope it's within an hour max again. And there should not be any issues from then. I hope with the recording there's no issues. I mean, since I didn't switch the encoders. And I'm gonna use game capture as well. There we go. You can do Spotify or Discord. We've already debuted Discord, so I'm not gonna do that. I don't have Spotify installed either, so I'm gonna just press X for exit. Like that. Then from there, I'm gonna install let me just, never mind, OG Hub, which is the Walkie Touch. Okay, just wait out for the exe to open. There we go, just install. So pretty much this is a 2021 version of the exe. It has some of the features disabled and some devices do not work. I mainly use this to have my mouse connected. So yeah, that's why I'm using an older version, as it it's less performance than the newer ones since it blocks the features. So if you have a Wallet Edge device, you can just copy my settings. So update disable, desktop notification disable, games to control illumination, uncheck, default. Now you're gonna have Fortnite, go settings, disable the profile, go desktop, integrations, disable all of them, then make sure the tick box is also removed. Then go the mouse itself, go to sensitivity. Now you're gonna have a bunch of sensitivity here. Just press on the last one, then just do the delete key shortcut until you have one. Then just manually change to the DPI that you use. I use 800. And for pulling rate, people will tell you 1000 or whatever your mouse max is. So Fortnite does not run that good on over 1000 pulling rate. It has stutters. So if you have a mouse like me, that's maximum 1000. I recommend you going to 500. It's gonna improve your aiming, and also it's gonna put less stress to your CPU. If you have a high-end CPU, in this case, as we know, this PC is not high-end. I do low pull rate, but even on my main PC with i9, I also use 500. And as I said, mine got way better. So 500 or 1000, then your DPI, and then you can exit out of that. You're done with it. And in case you don't want the board from Wallet Edge, just use onboard memory from Wallet Edge and you'll be even more fun. Like it's gonna be even less demanding. Okay, now we're gonna do the stretch as I said, and then I'm gonna restart one last time. So change resolution. This is mainly, as I said, for people that don't have the display scaling option and just have GPU. So customize, create custom, accept, then select the rest you want, then change refresh. Yes. Okay. And make sure adjust desktop is on full screen. Then close. Then go here. I'm gonna do OpenShell real quick as well. This is not provided, by the way, in the back. It's just personal preference. Disable. There, I'm just gonna remove Wooner as well. There we go. OpenShell skins. Okay, then private back minion square. And now it's gonna be like that. Then another thing I like to do, same from the previous video, just rename that. Go like that. Then go personalize, themes, desktop icons, and I like to remove the icons and keep my desktop super clean. All right. Now, for NVIDIA, you want to drag this and then drag it somewhere here. This is what you're gonna use to switch between resolutions faster instead of going to NVIDIA panel always. So I'm gonna end now, restart PC, then come back and open Fortnite. BRB. Okay, we're back. So I'm gonna do Fortnite now. Again, use the tool for the stretch if you're using stretch. And I'm gonna switch to the custom res. Okay, and now we're in the custom res. I'll stretch the screens just in case. And another thing I like to do for OBS is remove all of this bullshit so it looks more clean. Then audio means transition, and just keep it like that. It's a little bit more clean. Double check everything is disabled just in case. Then open Fortnite. Now the only thing that's missing right now is the MS Afterburner, which I'm gonna open when we're in game. I'm also gonna stop the resolution timer, as I do not want it. I showed you how to use it. It's fully optional. I personally don't like it, and I also don't see any difference in the delay of using it. Also, if you're on Windows 11, I think the Windows 11 timer is fixed. I'm not fully sure, but with the latest updates, I think they fixed the timers, so you're not required to use timer resolution. But for some other version of the Windows, like this one or 20H1, you might be required, but you have to play with the timer. But again, without it, you don't have any issues either. Like, it's just personal preference if you want to like go that further. So let's see how the game looks. So I'm gonna go the same maps, and again I'm gonna close the Epic Games. Everything else should be fine. So I'm gonna open MSI. Okay. Now the temps should start kicking in from the fan curve. So enable. And then let me just see if I put it to game capture, if it's gonna show everything still. Okay, so it's showing the game capture, but it's not showing you the FPS. Okay, I'll keep it like that. So let's play. So I'm gonna keep it without full screen. You want it to be on full screen, but for the sake of the video not getting errors, I'll keep it on without. Everything else it's pretty much already set except the high quality, which should be low, but I personally like high. Specs, again, i7 6th gen and 1063 gigabytes. As you can see, the temperature is dropping down, and we are getting to 40 FPS. Now the latency, it's noticeable, but again, it's really impressive that you can get that much FPS at least on creative with such a system. Let me put it on unlimited. Let me just real quick remove the RSS cap. Put it to 0. So as you can see, we're getting about 400 while looking at the sky. So that's pretty decent. We're getting on average about, by the looks from the left corner, above 240 stable on average, at least in creative while building. The delay is definitely way higher now that the GPU is like weaker than the CPU kinda, but again, the GPU is not really being used that much right now since we are on performance mode and it's CPU based. But the game is definitely playable. Like, if you compare the results to the 2080 Super, it's actually pretty similar. So you can definitely tell that the GPU does not really play that huge role in the game as the CPU does. Kinda missing my edits right now, my bad. the 240 cap again. Oh, my bad. Did not do it properly. There we go. Now, if you want to get even lower latency, the option here will be upgrading your system. But if you're on a low budget end, I'll say the latency right now it's pretty decent. It's not really that bad. It's playable. Like definitely you can play normal tops and stuff like that, but do keep in mind that the FPS it's not gonna be the same amount in normal games from what we see right now, but it will be playable. If you plan on playing competitive or going pro, definitely would not recommend using a low end. But if you don't mind capping FPS to like 120 maybe, and as long as it's stable, then it's not that bad for use. But let me go in a real game. And again, I mentioned some stuff about the skins and the pickaxes for the walker stuff. You can check my other video. I explain why you wanna have it to almost none. I'm also gonna put a less demanding skin. If I can find something that's not that much effects. I'll do this one. It does not seem to have that much effects. Then go battle royale. I'm gonna do ranked, so it's like more stacked on Unreal. Again, I'm not gonna play the full match. I'm gonna do the same strategy as the last time. Just gonna die somewhere and spectate. Also, since we installed the driver, I have not pre-loaded the textures cache, so I need to play at least 30 to 40 minutes of normal matches to pre-render them up, so I don't have any stutters or FPS drops. But for the sake of the video, we're going through without pre-rendered frames. I mean, without pre-rendered textures. And also, since we have the OBS hopefully running without issues now, you can see the FPS in the top left corner. Now you can see the FPS when we spectate as well, and we switch players, so you can see it smoothing whenever it starts rendering textures. Now, if you're using a low-end PC, no build definitely gives you better frames. Again, it's still gonna be demanding, but since there's no building and people are not like spamming builds or like end zones are stacked with builds, it's a little bit better. And as you can see, I'm getting like 100 plus FPS in the pre-lobby, and there's no stutters for now since we did the process was and the other stuff. You can see it's like not that much stutters. So as I said, this will be pretty stable PC for like 120 plus, like, or even walk 120 FPS. Now, I don't know if the latency is decent, but latency is pretty much the same as creative, almost. I also think my ping right now is super high, so that also adds latency. Since I'm not using the external card that I have, yeah, I have about, I don't know if you can see the ping, but I have like about 50 something ping. On my main PC with the external network card, I get like 20, less than 20 actually sometimes. And zones and creative it's like almost zero. But yeah, as you can see, FPS pretty stable. I'm gonna disable again the thingy. I do not recommend you using the network stats to ping or your FPS, as them moving also plays with FPS, like it decreases the FPS since it's like moving and it's rendering the text. But yeah, as you can see, over 120. It does have like some loading issues, but as I said, it's still loading. Let me just lower the audio. Okay, now we don't have audio. As I said, it's still loading the textures. But yeah, you can see we're getting like 240 in buildings on a i7 6th gen with a 1060 while recording on 45,000 bitrate with max quality preset, and you can see it does not really have that much performance of a difference. As I said, this game is CPU based, so your GPU is not really being used. So let's hope this turret can kill me faster. There we go. Come on. Nice. So we're gonna spectate now, so it pre-renders them up. Also, do keep this is in Unreal, so the game should be like quite waggy compared to like normal bot lobbies. So as you can see, 240. It's like actually above 200, which is pretty impressive. Now, compared to the other video, we did not do any optimizations beforehand, like before actually going into Fortnite. We just did basic ones, and this one is a bit more advanced. So that's the reason why we're getting way more stable FPS, and we're also using RSS, which makes the FPS a bit more smooth. So let's switch places now with different player. Okay, this guy is in the vote on the island. As you can see, 240, 218. Gonna out up real quick. Hopefully it shows it. GPU is running 37 with the fan curve. CPU is running on 80% utilization. Memory is on 6 gigabytes. Now, if you were to debug your ISO file, like what I mean by ISO file is like the Windows ISO that you download from Microsoft. If you were to debug it pre-hand and remove some features, you could have get the RAM usage down to like maybe 3 or 4 gigabytes. And the CPU usage, the processes will be way lower. But this is pretty much like 80% of what you're capable to do with some tweaking. Like, there's extra stuff that you can do, which I'm not gonna include the video because I don't wanna like give all the secrets on how to like fully optimize everything to the max potential. But yeah, if I were to go as well to redo my BIOS settings and overclock the CPU back to 4.2 gigahertz, and maybe downclock, like undervolt the 1060 so it runs even cooler, maybe like 25 to 30 degrees, it's gonna have a massive improvement. But as you can see, the I1 is already rendered, so the FPS right now is like super stable. And we're actually getting better FPS than some people that have like crazy specs. So we're rendering the player now. So as you can see, we're in a different position now, since the place, like the area, is not rendered, since we've never been here. The FPS is low, but whenever the place gets rendered, the FPS increase. As you can see, the FPS is already going upwards a little bit by little bit. There we go. And we're almost back to 240 for a second. I really wanna stay until the end zone, because maybe the end zone might be stacked, because it's Unreal Lobby, and maybe we can see like the FPS there, but sadly I don't think, we can, but like the video is gonna be like super long, and I don't wanna make this like 2-hour video, waiting like 30 minutes for a game. In the future, I can maybe retest with screams if anyone's interested. Like right now, I don't think there's any screams running for you, at least for the TAR 2 and TAR 3. So I cannot do that, but I can retest with stacked screams or like stacked lobbies in the future if anyone's interested for that. I actually I can't tell if I'm actually watching Unreal players or like silver or like platinum. Let's go different area. I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 more switches and then I'll call it a day for the video. But as you can see, stable over 120. This guy. I love it when you switch to someone spectating, like let's say you died, and then you spectate someone and they just start emoting when they're legit doing nothing or have done nothing. Like, this is how, by the way, how you get Unreal. If you're really bad, just stay in the bush. Okay, hopefully, nah, this guy is also not really a double kill. I wanna find someone that's W king and playing super fast, so there's like a lot of movement in the buildings, so we can see like how the FPS is gonna be. Okay, almost everyone is camping in Unreal nowadays. Wow. I've also got Unreal like a few months ago on bot modes, and I stopped playing. Then like 4 or 5 days ago, I came back to Fortnite, and I've noticed almost everyone in Unreal game or like ranked plays like it's a tournament or scrim. Like they're playing box fights, they're making towers and stuff like that. I don't understand what really changed into the meta. Maybe the meta now is like camping or playing safe. I don't know. Usually before that was like full W key and everyone was like playing a bit more aggressive, but now it's, I guess, more peaceful. So if you're grinding for rank ups, then I guess now it's your best time to go to Unreal. Into Unreal. So as I said, this setups that we just did now, like all the tweaks, it will be perfect for no build, considering there's no building and stuff like that. Okay, we're getting almost 10 zone, I think. Yeah, 17 people. And no one is still double king. Interesting. Okay, box fights. But as you can see, the FPS is getting surely way better with every minute as it's rendering. Oh, there we go. This guy might be double king. Not really, because of 3 kills, but... Nah, this guy's not gonna find anyone. Oh, there we go. Fight, maybe. So FPS is still pretty stable, but they're playing kinda slow. Like, they're still editing and doing a lot of movement, but they're playing it slow paced. And it's also box fighting right now. So there should not be any crazy FPS drops. But if you're a decent player and you start like free building or like doing double, triple edits, fast resets, the FPS is gonna decrease a little bit more. But as I said, this is a little bit more slow paced play. That's why I'm looking for someone that's double king, hardly. But I don't think this lobby has anyone. Yeah, there's no one. Everyone is camping. Like the fuck. And almost everyone has below 5 kills. That's actually interesting. If I actually decided to play the full game without like just spectating for the purpose of the video, I could have probably cleaned the whole lobby. Considering how they play, like I could have probably done a win with like 20 kills. Yeah, everyone is just playing like a bot, like super safe. Which again, I mean, if you're not really good player, again, it's still a strategy. But if you want to get better at the game, don't play like this. Like still learn how to box fight and like push whenever you need to, or like whenever you need a refresh, but like play a little bit more aggressive. Cause like even if the player is good or if it's bad, they won't really expect you to like be that pushy. That's a little tip for some people. Because whenever you start applying pressure, they gonna start to like sweat. Like some of them panic. So if they panic, pretty much they make a mistake. If they make a mistake, it's your chance to kill them. And whatever you do, don't panic. Like even if he hits you for like 150, just still keep getting aggressive. I mean, he won't be expecting it. A lot of the pros, whenever maybe they full box someone or leave someone 1 HP, they tend to start W king, because they think that the player got panic because he's like super low HP. But if you actually return fire, they won't expect it, and it's kind of like a 50-50, but 70% of the fights that I've took at like super low HP, I've managed to win because the other player didn't expect that play, so they lost. So yeah, that's a little tip for you guys. Might not be really helpful, but for some players maybe they'll understand what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much the final video that I'm gonna do about Windows optimization, unless I decide to do in the future something that's showing you BIOS settings or like how to do the timings for your RAM. But for now, that's gonna be it. If you have any questions, just join my Discord. You can open a ticket and ask your question there, and whenever I'm online, I'll just answer that. But over here is the tickets support, and then just create a ticket and just type random bullshit, and I will reply to your ticket. If you want to message me directly, just find me, like go somewhere where I've replied, like there you go, just right click and then message. I might not reply always super fast because sometimes I'm busy with IRL work, but whenever I'm free or whenever I can check my phone, I can reply almost instantly. I also stay a bit up till late, like 12 p.m, 1 a.m. sometimes on my phone, so I can replay then as well. But usually for you to get the fastest response, it's around between 1 p.m. to like maybe 8 p.m. That would be like whenever I can answer almost instantly, most of the times. It's gonna be on EU time zone, so GMT +3. But yeah, if you have any questions as well, you can leave them in the comments. I'll reply as well as I get notice on my phone. But yeah, feel free to join the Discord. As I said, the 2 is over here. It might say it's a virus because I converted it from bot to exe, because some people actually tried to resell this past versions, like they renamed it to something else and then started selling it to people, which is crazy. But yeah, we have different channels, as I said, like you can check out them, like each one of them has like some stuff included. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. I hope the video don't turn too long, but it is what it is. But yeah, peace.